hypothesis lambda beta equal to D versus alternative is lambda beta is not equal to D. So we know that the probability of type 2 errors, we also know it is a beta, and probability of type 2 error is nothing but probability of except H0 when H1 is true. So that means 1 minus beta is known as a power of test, and that is nothing but probability of reject H0 when H1 is true, because alternative to the except is complement of except H0 is reject H0, because we have taken 1 minus beta. But we know that when we reject H0, when the calculated value exceeds this critical value. So that is SS H0 upon M divided by SSE upon N minus R exceed or greater than F1 minus alpha M N minus R, we reject H0. Again, the condition is that H1 is true. So because this is a continuous quantity, let us say this is a random variable xi, then it has the density z of xi, so it is the integration over f1 minus alpha to infinity, because this is the lower value, upper value is infinity, so that is z of xi d xi, but that again, that integration under the, then h1 is true. So xi is nothing but ss h naught upon m upon ssc n minus r, and z of xi is the PDF of the random variable xi. If we divide it by the sigma square, numerator and denominators, we can have the xi is equal to this. But we know that what is the distribution of SSE upon sigma square? It is a chi-square with n minus r degree of freedom, irrespective value of whether lambda beta equal to d or not. So it has no connection with the lambda beta. Why? Because lambda beta is belong to the estimation space. It is a parametric function. So of course their blue is belong to estimation space, and SSE upon sigma square, that is the quantity belong to the error space, and both are orthogonals and they are independent. So whether lambda beta equal to d or not, it has no connection with the SSE. So that is how we said that SSE upon sigma square has the chi-square with n minus r. That we have already derived in the previous lecture. We also know that the SSH naught upon sigma square is also written as lambda beta cap minus d transpose lambda s bar lambda dash inverse lambda beta cap minus d, and has the non-central chi-square distribution. Why non-central chi-square distribution? Because under alternative we are finding so lambda beta is not equal to d. It has a non-central chi-square distribution with m degree of freedom, and non-centrality parameter is given by delta square. Delta square is nothing but lambda beta minus d transpose lambda s bar lambda dash inverse lambda beta minus d. Why? Because expected value of lambda beta cap is lambda beta, and lambda beta is not d. So this is a non-centrality parameter. So this non-centrality parameter reduced to the centrality when delta square equal to 0. So in that case we say that non-central chi-square distribution reduced to the central chi-square provided delta square equal to 0. So when delta square equal to 0, sigma square cannot be 0. Lambda s bar lambda dash inverse cannot be 0. So this becomes 0 if and only if lambda beta equal to d. And lambda beta equal to d, that means it is our h naught. So under h naught, SS h naught upon sigma square has the chi-square with m degree of freedom. But under alternative, it is a non-central chi-square with m degree of freedom, and non-centrality parameter is the delta square. We know that SS h naught upon sigma square and SSE upon sigma square are independently distributed. So it is a ratio of a 2 non-central chi-square to the central chi-square divided by the corresponding degree of freedom. So we know that it has a F distribution, but because it is a ratio of non-central to central, so it is a non-central chi-square non-central F distribution, with M is the degree of freedom of numerators and n minus r is the degree of freedom of the denominators, and delta square is the non-centrality parameter. So which show that the power of test So you can see that what is the distribution of xi? Xi is a non-central. So z of xi is nothing but it is a non-central F distribution. So it means that this quantity, the power of test, is a function of xi m n minus r as well as the delta square. The power of test for H naught is a function of so we know that xi is a function of or the power of test is a function of we require m n minus r and delta square. It is a delta square m and n minus r. So we shall write power of test that is you have written it is the integral of f1 minus alpha m n minus r to infinitive g of xi d xi can be written as because it is in the function of m n minus r delta, so we can write in this way g of xi is a function of m n minus r delta square. So it is a star equation star. So the explicit means you can easily obtain the solution. Explicit the explicit expression of SS at naught. Sorry, expression of g of xi m n minus r delta square is obtained by writing out the joint distribution of SS at naught upon sigma square and by transforming to xi. So if you wish to find out that explicit expression of xi, so you have to write the joint distribution of SS at naught upon sigma square and then you have to transform into the xi. But it is very difficult. But it is very complicated. So whenever integration form or to obtain that evaluation of integration is very complicated, so we always try to find out the numerical solution. Okay, you must have studied the Simpson 1/3, Simpson 3/8 rules. Likewise, there are so many other simulation methods are there, Monte Carlo integration methods, importance sampling methods. Okay, variance reduction techniques are there to obtain the estimate of integration. So there are so many techniques are available in literature, but the Tang has given the tables to evaluate power function given in star Tang's table. may be used. So tables are given in some notation. These tables are in terms of variable e square related to xi by, so e square is equal to m xi upon n minus r plus m xi. So we know the form of xi. You have to convert into the e squares. Also, it does not use delta square. Instead, he uses different notation. Instead of m, he said f1. Instead of n minus r, he said f2. And instead of delta, he used the notation phi, where phi is nothing but square root of delta square plus m plus 1. In his notation, power function is integration of e square 1 minus alpha 1 pdf of e square d square, where e square 1 minus alpha is equal to f1 f1 minus alpha m की जगह पे f1 n minus r की जगह पे f2 डिवाइड बाय n minus r की जगह पे f2 f1 f1 minus alpha f1 f2. See, you know this form. uh, you know this form f1 minus alpha m minus r. So usually how it is obtained? So it is obtained by SS at naught. That okay. SS at naught upon m divided by SSE upon n minus r. By obtaining this distribution, you can obtain this. So what you can do? You can just, for a simplification, if you write this, what is xi? We know the form of xi. It is a SS at naught upon m SSE upon n minus r. Okay. And here it is a n minus r plus m SS at naught upon m SSE upon n minus r. Okay. So in this way, this xi, they said this as a f1 minus alpha distribution. M they call f1, n minus r they call f2, and this is f1 minus alpha r. So that is how they have written this. Why? Because this upon, of course, if you divide by sigma square both sides, there is no issue. So this has a f1 minus alpha m n minus r distribution. Okay, so because we find out the critical value. This is calculated. So if you find critical L square 1 minus alpha, so this has a F distribution with 1 minus alpha m n minus r. M is they said F1, n minus r they said F2. So this is the F1, F1 minus alpha, F1, F2. N minus r is F2 plus F1, F1 minus alpha, F1, F2. So that is what they have written. Okay. So this is all about the power of test. So in short, power of test is obtained the reject except it not when sorry, it is a power of test is nothing but it is reject at not when the H1 is true. So we have used the reject at not criteria for the reject at not in that or the test procedure. So when we reject at not, when we say that SS at not upon M, SSE upon N minus R greater than F1 minus alpha Mn minus R. But it is under at not. So if you say it is a xi, so xi is a random variable, so it has a density z of xi. So if you wish to calculate this probability, that is integration over F1 minus alpha Mn R to infinity z of xi. But z of xi can be written as, if you divide by sigma square from numerator and denominators, we know that SSE upon sigma square has the chi-square and minus r degree of freedom irrespective of lambda beta equal to d or not. And SS h naught upon sigma square has the non-central chi-square because we are finding the under alternative that it is the non-central chi-square with the degree of freedom m and the non-centrality parameter delta square. And xi is a ratio of two non-central to central chi-square divided by corresponding degree of freedom. It has a non-central F distribution with Mn minus R. So it is saying that g of xi is a function of delta square m and n minus r. So it is very difficult to obtain the explicitly the integration value. So Teng has given the tables. By using that tables, you can evaluate the integration function, but that functions are in the form of p square and f1, f2, where e square is m xi upon n minus r plus m of xi. And instead of delta square, they have written the f1, f2 and phi. Okay, where phi is equal to delta square upon square root of delta square upon m plus. And in this notation, the Teng's notation, the power of test is given by e square 1 minus integration e square 1 minus alpha to 1 and PDF of e square, p of e square, where e square 1 minus alpha is nothing but f1, capital F1 minus alpha f1 f2 plus divided by f2 plus small f1, capital F1 minus alpha f1 f2. So we talk about the null hypothesis, we talk about the alternative hypothesis, we obtain the level of significance, we obtain the power of test. So now we will talk about the confidence intervals. So when we talk about the testing of hypothesis, or even when we talk about the linear models, we say that our aim is that first we wish to obtain the unique estimate of parameters if possible. If it is not, then the next question is that are we in that position to obtain the estimate of the parameters which are estimable? If yes, then the next question is that can we in that position to obtain their variance, so that we obtain the variance of blue. Then we say that can we in that position to obtain the are we in that position to test the hypothesis lambda beta equal to d, where lambda beta is nothing but m estimable parametric function. So yes, we can. Then we have obtained what is the test procedure. So to obtain the test procedure, we have obtained the distribution of SS at naught, SSE, and based on that, we obtain the distribution of the test statistics SS at naught upon n sigma square upon SSE upon n minus r sigma square, and it has a under h naught f1 minus alpha m n minus r distribution. But under alternative, what is the distribution? So under alternative, it has a non-central chi-square distribution. So now we wish to find out the power of test. So that we have obtained. The power of test is nothing but the uh, 1 minus beta, and 1 minus beta is nothing but probability of reject at naught when h1 is true. We have obtained the alpha, probability of reject at naught when h naught is true. Now we wish to obtain the confidence interval. That means when I am saying that confidence interval, it means I am trying to find out interval estimate for a parameter beta or some linear function of a parameter. So now we will talk about the and this interval actually given by the Sheffey. So that is how it is also known as a Sheffey's simultaneous confidence interval. So we will discuss to obtain confidence interval. Confidence interval for M. Here we are not obtaining the confidence interval for the single parametric function. We are obtaining the confidence intervals for M linearly independent estimable parametric function. Lambda beta. We observe that what is alpha? Alpha is nothing but level of significance. It is a probability of type 1 errors, and probability of type 1 error is nothing but probability that reject H naught when H naught is true. And that is what we obtain. We obtain this as a probability that SS H naught upon M upon SSC upon N minus R, okay, is greater than F1 minus alpha M N minus R. So this is giving the level of significance. But what is the confidence interval? The confidence interval is given by 1 minus alpha. So that is probability that SS H naught upon M SSE upon N minus R, which implies it is less than or equal to F1 minus alpha M N minus R. So this is we know. Okay. Am I correct? But what is the form of SS H naught? Which implies probability that SS H naught is you have written lambda beta cap minus lambda beta, because when we find out the confidence interval it is under H naught. So it is a lambda beta cap minus lambda beta transpose lambda S bar lambda dash inverse. You can also write the D, but under H naught lambda beta equal to D. So I can write here this way lambda beta cap minus lambda beta upon M divided by SSC upon N minus R less than equal to F1 minus alpha M N minus R. But what is this? It is the 1 minus alpha. So which implies if I am taking this SSC N minus R over here, but we know that what is the estimate of sigma square? It is the SSC upon N minus R. So can I write this as a probability lambda beta cap minus lambda beta transpose lambda S bar lambda dash inverse lambda beta cap माइनस लैम्बडा बीटा, और ये m भी मैं नीचे ले जाता हूँ, तो कैन आई राइट दिस m और इसको मैं कहता हूँ सिग्मा स्क्वायर कैप f1 minus alpha m n minus r 1 minus alpha. Why? Because the estimate of sigma square is nothing but SSE upon n minus r. Okay. So which implies we can write probability. But what is this quadratic form? So this quadratic form is either a difference of conditional SSE minus unconditional SSE, or you can write it as a maximum over A. It is a dash lambda beta cap minus lambda beta square upon A dash lambda s bar lambda dash A. And this is less than or equal to this m sigma cap square. I can write this side, so it is the m sigma cap square f 1 minus alpha m n minus r is equal to 1 minus alpha. Any questions up to this? Because we write this as a maximum over A dash lambda beta cap minus lambda beta whole square upon A dash lambda s bar lambda dash. Now, if we take this over here together, what we can write? We can write as a probability that maximum over A dash lambda A dash में अंदर ले जाओ तो ऐसे लिख सकते हो A dash minus A dash lambda beta whole square is less than or equal to. What is the variance of A dash lambda beta cap? It is A dash lambda variance of lambda beta cap A. But what is variance of lambda dash beta cap? It is a lambda s bar lambda dash sigma square. So we can write this as a m sigma cap square A dash lambda s bar lambda dash A f1 minus alpha m n minus r equal to 1 minus alpha. Now we know that variance of A dash lambda beta cap is equal to A dash variance of lambda beta cap A. But variance of lambda beta cap क्या है? It is a lambda s bar lambda dash sigma square A. So we can write this as a sigma square A dash lambda s bar lambda dash A. This all constant. तो सिग्मा स्क्वायर की जगह पे मैं एस्टिमेट रखूंगा इसका, तो ये क्या हो गया? If I am writing the estimate, so actually this is the variance of A dash lambda beta, so I can write it is a estimate of variance of A dash lambda dash beta cap as a sigma cap square. This, yes, we can write, which implies, और ये क्या है? मैक्सिमम वैल्यू सबसे छोटा है, ठीक है? The maximum is the lower than this. That means all the values are lower than this. So which implies we can write A dash lambda beta cap minus A dash lambda beta square is less than or equal to m of estimate of A dash lambda beta cap okay, and this is a f1 minus alpha m minus n minus r. is a n minus r, but it is for every a, because maximum value is less than this. That means all the values are, this is always less than or equal to this. That is 1 minus alpha. But this is the square, so we can take the square root. So square root is nothing but it is a plus or minus. So we can write it as a probability that minus m estimate of variance of a dash lambda beta cap into f 1 minus alpha m n minus r raised to half is less than or equal to a dash lambda beta cap minus a dash lambda beta is less than or equal to plus, that is the positive square root, a dash lambda beta cap f 1 minus alpha m n minus r raised to half for every a, and that is nothing but 1 minus alpha. Okay. So now if you take this a dash lambda beta, this side, sorry, a dash lambda beta cap in this side, what happen? It is minus a dash lambda beta cap minus this less than equal to minus a dash lambda beta, और यहाँ आएगा तो क्या होगा? This minus. So if you take the minus side outside, you can write this as a it implies is a probability that a dash lambda beta cap minus m variance of a dash lambda beta cap f 1 minus alpha m n minus r raised to half less than equal to a dash lambda beta less than equal to a dash lambda beta cap plus m variance estimate of variance of a dash lambda beta cap into f 1 minus alpha m n minus r. इनका क्या आएगा? Square root bracket over is equal to 1 minus alpha for every a. So इसका अर्थ क्या हुआ? It is giving the confidence interval, which implies probability that interval what is the interval? A dash lambda beta cap plus or minus m f 1 minus alpha m n minus r into estimated variance of a dash lambda beta cap. Okay, their power is 1 by half. Contains, so this interval contains a dash lambda beta for every a. And what is that probability? That probability is 1 minus alpha, which gives, तो यहाँ पे कह सकते हैं equation star is known as, because it is given by the Sheffy, it is known as Sheffy's simultaneous. Why simultaneous? Because this is a 1 minus alpha probability not for only one parametric function. It is all m parametric functions. It is giving the Sheffy's simultaneous confidence intervals for इसका है तो estimable parametric functions and so it is not only the estimable parametric function but their linear combination and their linear combination a dash lambda beta for every a. They are called simultaneous confidence intervals. They are called simultaneous confidence intervals because one minus alpha is a probability allotted to probability associated not with any single not with any single a dash lambda beta but for all a dash lambda beta. Okay, so it is not a why it is a simultaneous because it is not a confidence interval minus alpha probability is associated with a single confidence interval. It is all possible confidence intervals of a dash lambda beta. Okay. In particular, if one needs confidence interval for a single estimable parametric function, lambda dash beta, then the probability, the interval a dash की जगह पे क्या आएगा lambda dash beta cap plus or minus m equal to 1 है इसलिए m चला गया तो it is estimate of variance of lambda dash beta cap into f1 minus alpha 1 n minus r raised to half contains lambda beta is 1 minus alpha. So this is a confidence interval for a one parametric function. Why? Because सिंगल एस्टिमेबल है, इसका मतलब क्या हुआ, वी आर सब्स्टिट्यूटिंग m इक्वल टू 1. Okay. Any questions? Anyone up to this?